showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
I want to welcome you guys out today to episode 154 of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. My name is Chris Hollifield. I am your host. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for giving it a listen, especially if this is your first time checking out the podcast. I can't urge you enough to go to the website, iamsaltlake.com. That's where you can dig through that back catalog and check out some of the previous conversations that I've had with some people here in Salt Lake City. I've had some really, really awesome conversations, and I'm sure there's people there that you want to check out. So check out the website, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, find us on the Mediocre Radio Network.com. Hey, I got a great episode for you guys today. Liz Fernandez. She joined me on this episode of the podcast. This girl is up to a lot here in Salt Lake City. It's really great when I have an opportunity to sit down and meet and chat with individuals that are doing stuff that I enjoy. Like Liz, she actually helps organize and puts together the Salt Lake City zombie walks that go on every August. I still remember the first zombie walk that I went on many, many years ago, met at Memory Grove Park. We actually talk about that in the conversation. Had a really great time. This guy Sarvis put it on, and he moved away and gave the torch to Liz, and she's carried it on, done an excellent job with the zombie walks. Liz also does a Salt Lake Journal project. We get into that conversation. We talk about her roller derby. We talk about her art. We talk about her as a person. I mean, this is a really great conversation. I'm excited to bring it to you guys. So I'm going to jump into that conversation here. And remember, you can call that voicemail line. Give it a call, 385-202-5926. I'd love to know your thoughts on this episode or any other episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. So without any more chatting on my end, let's jump into that conversation that I had with Liz Fernandez as she came over to my apartment here in downtown Salt Lake City. This is actually going to be episode 154 with Liz Fernandez. She's joining me in my wonderful downtown apartment. Anyways, Liz, why don't we kind of start? I'm going to have you kind of, let's just do a tiny introduction about yourself. I mean, you got a lot of different projects that you have going on right now, which we're going to find out in this conversation. Did you grow up here in Salt Lake?
Yes, I grew up mostly in West Valley. We moved here from Georgia when I was like 6 or 7, so lived here pretty much my whole life.
Now, who's we? Your family?
Yeah,
big family?
Me, my mother, my brother, and my sister. We're not too big a family.
Okay, so you moved to West Valley, and now you're in downtown Salt Lake City. You're involved. I mean, we were talking about it just before we started recording. I mean, you got roller derby. You do the Salt Lake City zombie walk.
Yes.
And you have a new project, the Salt Lake Journal project, which I'm really intrigued on, and I want to get him talking about. What else? You're an artist as well? You paint, or?
Yeah, I paint too.
Where would you like to start? Where would be the best place to start? I mean, what have you been doing the longest?
I've been doing the Salt Lake City zombie walk the longest. I've been doing for, what year are they in now? I think they're in like the 7th year. I've been doing it for the past 5. I've participated every year, but I've been running it for the past 5 years. Yeah,
we were talking at the very first one, Memory Grove Park, I think is if I remember correctly, the first zombie walk in Salt Lake. And then Sarvis, moved out of Utah. And he kind of handed it over to you. Were you excited when he handed it, when he said, this is yours? I mean, how did that happen?
Yeah, I was way excited. I had just emailed him and I said, are we going to do another one this year? And he had, I guess, realized that it's impossible to run the Salt Lake Zombie Walk from Chicago. And so he just asked me if I thought that I could do it and if I could take it, and I just said yes, absolutely.
Were you guys pretty good friends?
We actually didn't know each other too well. We had a lot of mutual acquaintances, and like he had pierced me before, but other than that, we hadn't hung out too much.
So when he gave it over to you, I mean, did he give you, I mean, is there any kind of like instructions that come along with something like that? I mean, for people listening even, that might not even be familiar with the zombie walk or a zombie walk in general. How would you describe a zombie walk?
A zombie walk, how I describe it, is a flash mob of zombies. It's just a gathering of zombies. You have a set route that you try to stick to. You try to stick to public places because it is a flash mob, and so I have never gotten any permits for it. Yeah, that was his instructions. Like he
don't get permits.
Yeah, he just gave me the passwords to all of his social media sites, and he told me all I have to do is set a date and set a route, and people will go. And it was true.
yeah, a lot of people. Uh-huh. The second year, that was at Trolley Square. That was the ending spot, was Trolley Square. Are they different every year? I haven't really been following the zombie walks.
They have been different every year, except for the fifth year. I went back and I did basically the same route as we did the first year. So
starting at Memory Grove and then ending at what was it, Delta Center, I think, at that time.
Uh-huh. And then last year I did we had a route that started and ended at Pioneer Park, and we repeated that one. So I think I'm just going to start cycling through routes, really. There are only so many places that you can start and stop in Salt Lake.
Here in Salt Lake, yeah. And that typically is like August, correct? Is that typically?
It's always been in August.
Do you have a date set for that yet, or?
I do.
Do you want to talk about it now, or we can't talk about it yet?
But it's always on a Sunday in August.
Okay. When is that going to be announced, or is it kind of top secret?
It'll be announced really soon. Like I like to announce the date at least a month before it happens. So we're almost a month to August. So
yeah. So follow, I guess, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook page I know for it, which I'll put on the podcast show notes. Is there a Twitter page for the zombie walk or no?
There is. It's connected to the Facebook page. I couldn't even tell you what the Twitter account is. I really only do the Facebook and then it just posts to Twitter. I'll look for all those links because I love the zombie walk. You know, people, they get out, they dress up. Mm-hmm. There's some photos of myself at the very first one. I'll even try to dig it up and post them online. And I had a blast. I mean, I don't know why I stopped going, you know. How many people would you say come out to? I mean, a few hundred, maybe 1,000. Yeah, we're up to the hundreds. I would say if we're not up to 1,000, we're the high hundreds. Last year, I think I estimated about 800. It's impossible to really count for sure. People will RSVP to the event and then probably not show up.
Any problems with the law? Have you had any?
No.
I mean, with you say no permits.
Yeah, we haven't actually. The first year that I took over, actually, we started it at Washington Square, and there was security there, and they were taking pictures with us with the zombies.
Like security for posing. Washington Square, or like police?
They were, I think I don't think they were really police. They were security guys, and we see the police almost every year, but I think we have a general understanding, I think, with them where we're not doing anything really wrong. We're kind of just going for a walk in the city.
Yeah, I mean, you're obeying the traffic laws.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to be respectful. Don't destroy people's lawns. What's the craziest? I mean, any crazy zombie makeup outfits that you could stick out, or I guess it'd probably be pretty tough to try to describe. I remember the first one, some girl had like a baby dangling
that's the first one that I
from
thought,
her
actually, when you asked
between her it was coming out of her
she was so
female areas.
She was
there.
So offensive and so awesome.
It was excellent. It was excellent. And then you have the zombie killers.
Yes.
My mind is blank what the actual name is for those.
Just the zombie hunters. They have a whole name.
Yeah.
Like the something Alliance. There are actually people that started doing that. I don't know if they were the very first ones, but they've done it pretty much since the beginning. There's a group from my favorite vegan bakery.
Yeah. Well, Kelly over at Cakewalk. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty hardcore zombie hunters.
Yeah. No, they do an excellent job. So if you're listening, follow the Facebook page. And at least, I mean, if you're not going to come out to the zombie walk, at least come and watch it, because it is worth coming to take pictures for. I mean, it definitely takes the city by storm. Roller derby. What got you're involved with that? Are you still skating with a team or not?
Yes, I'm skating mostly with the Red Rockets right now. They're the recreational league in Utah. I used to be more involved with Wasatch Roller Derby. I tried to do both for a while, and it got to be a lot. So I'm just doing the rec one because I have a lot of other things.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're involved with so much. I mean, that's why I was like, I got to get this girl on the podcast because it's like you do so much. How do you do it all?
I don't know. I hate to be bored.
Yeah. Well, no, it sounds like me. Like I was talking about before we started recording. Exactly. It was like
you just keep busy all the time.
I keep biting off way more than I can chew.
Oh yeah.
And then I regret it, and then I have to tell people, no, I can't do that. I can't make it out to that. So how long have you been involved with roller derby?
I've been involved with roller derby
in general, just at all. I guess.
I think I'm like 3 years.
Okay. So quite a few years. Mm-hmm. Why did you even get involved in the first place? I
had a coworker who had volunteered at some bouts, just doing scorekeeping. And she looked up and saw when the tryouts were for Wasatch Roller Derby. And then she was asking me if I wanted to go, and she was going to go with me. We were going to try out for roller derby, and it was going to be awesome. And then I went to tryouts, and she never showed up.
You went, she didn't even show up.
Yeah,
she flaked on you.
She didn't show up. I couldn't skate at all. And then I started with the Red Rockets because they have the ability to teach you how to skate completely from scratch. And then after like about a year after that, I joined Wasatch. And
now you say teach you how to. I mean, is there really that much to roller skating?
There is. There's a lot. It's hard to learn when you're an adult.
It is actually. I went roller skating for the first time in like 20 years about, I don't know, less than a year ago. I went down to classic skating in Orem. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a breeze. I remember going here when I was, a teenager. And when you try to do it, your joints and your muscles and your legs just are not used to that.
And roller derby it's skating, but it's not just roller skating. There's a certain stance that you have to be in pretty much the whole time that you want to train yourself to be in so that you're stable when you're actually playing, because it's a full contact sport and people are going to be running into you. And if you're not down in that stance, and you'll just be flailing all over the place. And
so was that pretty tough to learn?
Yeah, it's hard to learn all of the maneuvers and all of and then past that, even it's just the strategy, and there's a lot to roller derby. Yeah.
Have you ever been like seriously injured? Have you ever had any serious roller skating injuries? My
worst injury was I broke my finger. That's it.
From roller derby, you've done broke your. Have you? I mean, I'm sure you've seen some crazy injuries, though.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the craziest injury you've seen?
I couldn't say exactly what there are a few
like
that
a broken
come to
leg
mind that are where the leg or the ankle breaks, and it's just like this. You can see it.
But like nobody's lost a limb or a leg or anything drastic like that, right?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. It's just broken bones. But sometimes they're really ugly broken bones.
So, I mean, is this a year-round roller derby? I mean, I don't know much about it. I've actually always wanted to come out to a roller derby event.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, well, when is? When is it? How would I find out about it?
One this weekend. It's like a sort of pickup scrimmage where it's going to be people from all leagues, like leagues all around Utah. It's in Spanish Fork. It's like this. I think it's called the Star Spangled Beatdown.
How many leagues? I mean, you say all leagues all over the. I mean, how many leagues are in Utah?
I will try to count them off, but I'll forget some of them. We have.
A dozen, 10, 8.
There's at least 6 or 7.
And is that kind of in just Salt Lake or Ogden, Utah County?
Yeah.
All over.
They're all over. We've got them north to south, all over in Utah.
So you say there's an event this weekend, and actually this will be going up next Monday. So this event will be passed from that. I mean, how often? I mean, events every weekend.
You can definitely find about every weekend in Utah. There was one Salt City had about on Saturday, and then the next one, the one this weekend, is in Spanish Fork. There will be one. I think we're having one. There's a Wasatch one, maybe the weekend after. So the 12th.
Okay. I mean, is there a website? Or a Facebook page?
They all have Facebook pages. There's Wasatch Roller Derby. There's actually a derby sort of group Facebook page called Derby Tourney that will tell you all of the bouts that are happening in Utah. They're pretty good about posting them. Yeah, and it's just run by a local couple of derby girls.
Find out what's going on when the next match is. What do you enjoy most about roller derby? Like what makes you keep going back?
I think the friends that I have made. It's just like it's hard to learn how to roller skate when you're an adult. It can be hard, maybe especially for women, to make really good friends when you're an adult.
It's tough for guys too, though.
I'm sure it is. We have a men's league.
You have a men's roller derby?
We do.
Do they use rollerblades?
No.
What about I want something that I can rollerblade on. Come on.
They will
tear it up on the rollerblades.
They will honestly probably make fun of you
if I showed up in rollerblades. Really?
Yeah.
I'd make fun of myself too if I showed up in rollerblades. I always hated the rollerbladers, but so they do have I didn't even realize they had a men's league.
And you went to Madness. I think that they are still the only men's league in Utah.
It's probably a great form of exercise.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Keeps you in shape and
we have like 3-hour long practices and they're amazing.
And so 3 hour, like how often do you practice?
I now practice once or twice a week. Wasatch Roller Derby practices at least 3 times a week. And then the men's league, I think, practices twice a week.
And are you like obligated to go into practice?
I mean, is
no,
it kind of like the more competitive leagues have attendance policies, but the recreational leagues they don't. There's not an attendance policy. You have to pay dues. So if you're not going, then you're spending money to do nothing. But
so it costs you money to do roller derby.
Yeah. Because we have to rent the space that we skate in.
Yeah.
So that's...
What's your roller derby name? I don't think we said that.
My roller derby name is Foxy Proxy.
Foxy Proxy. Like, how does one come up with those names? I mean, because I've heard there's so many, everybody has their own names and you hear them and you're like, gosh. How'd you come up with that?
I came up with my name. It's based off of an online horror series that I used to watch called Marble Hornets. And there are these characters in it that... It's a Slender Man series. So there are these characters in it that the Slender Man kind of uses, like he takes control over their minds or something. And the online fan community they could just call them proxies. And so then I just once came up with a whole bunch of roller derby-ish names to go with it. And I decided Foxy Proxy. I like that one. I'm gonna use it.
I like it.
That's a general... Yeah, they take them from pop culture, from their favorite bands, from their favorite songs, from anything, celebrity names.
Oh, cool. And you're an artist as well. You paint, or, I noticed you have like a Facebook page for your art.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you paint?
I do acrylics on canvas. I paint a lot of skulls and bones and things like that. There was a time where I pretty much exclusively painted dead birds.
Why? Just because?
I don't know.
They were inspirational.
Yeah. They're kind of pretty in a sad way. I love birds. I love them more when they're alive, but I love to paint them more when they're dead.
Yeah. Like, how long have you been painting? How long have you been into art?
I've been into art pretty much my whole life.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. But I
self-taught?
Yeah. I had some really great art teachers in high school, but I haven't had really any formal training or anything as far as painting goes. And I started recently, just the last couple of years, really getting more into it again and actually trying to sell some things. And
so getting them out there. Is your art for sale at all around town, or do you do like any of the farmers markets or Craft Lake City?
I haven't ever done a farmers market or Craft Lake City. I was actually looking at my stack of paintings yesterday and thinking that I should probably look into doing something like that because it's getting a little bit out of control.
like at your home there.
Yeah.
There's just it's
piling up.
Well, you could set up like a spot next to an event like Twilight at Pioneer Park or something, just to get the people when they're coming out of. Yeah, what about Etsy? You sell on Etsy at all or anything?
No, I don't have an Etsy page. I haven't it's sort of been on the back burner. I was thinking about applying for Craft Sabbath. But we'll see. You
should do it. Craft Sabbath is, a great thing. I mean, I think they're still doing it down at the first Sunday at the library.
Which is right by my house. So it's.
There's a lot of great local vendors. And if you're listening, go check out Craft Sabbath. If you haven't had an opportunity, because there's not much else to do in this town on a Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's like noon to, is it noon to 4 or 1 to 4 or 5 or something like that?
I don't even know how long it goes.
Yeah, I'll try to get I'm surprised I haven't talked about Craft Sabbath. Actually, I should get the people that run Craft Sabbath on the podcast and kind of get the story with Craft Sabbath and find out what Craft Sabbath is all about. But anyways, one of the projects I'm kind of interested about, because I'm quite a journal fanatic myself. I'm a big journal. My mom has been keeping a personal journal for me since I was about 2 years old. And so I have all those journals. I can go back and read about all the stuff I was doing 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. And I still write in a journal. The Salt Lake Journal Project.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What is it? I mean, what is it? Yeah, let's start there.
This is my latest project. It is basically I am collecting empty journals, and I'm currently in the process, the very beginnings of it. I'm trying to put them in businesses downtown, and then I have plans to sort of chain some of them, maybe to some bus stops, some trees at Liberty Park, everywhere.
And are you asking the businesses, or are you just kind of sneaking them in?
I've been asking them.
Okay. and aren't there, I think you said you had one at Frisch, right?
Yeah. I have one there, and then there's one at the Leonardo right now. Those are the only two that I have out so far. And the idea is just to have people write in them anonymously. I'm looking for any kind of stories, anything that I just want people to use them as journals. If they find something and they have a thought, I want them to write them down in there. And then at the end of the summer, or even later than that, maybe, then I'm going to go gather them up. And honestly, that's
we should read some of them on the podcast. We should read some of the journal entries on the podcast.
They're anonymous. It's fine, right?
Have they been out very long then? Have you?
No, they've been out for maybe a week, I think.
And have you gone and checked up on them? Have people been writing in them?
I haven't gone back to check on them yet. I want to go. I'll probably go this weekend to check out both of them. There's only two, so they'll be easy to check
I want to go. I was just barely at Frisch too. I wish I would have just the other day, and I'm sure it was there.
Yeah.
So where, like if you go down to Frisch, where is it at there?
I'm not sure where she's placed it.
Okay.
I left it with some of
with the the workers there. Yeah.
But it's covered in duct tape, and it says Frisch, and it says Salt Lake Journal Project on the front of it. So.
And I mean,
like.
what made this idea come about? Like just one day it popped in your head, or I mean, how did it happen?
Yes, kind of. It was inspired by, I have a habit of seeing things that I think look interesting and cool and just picking them up off the ground. And I found a journal at a Sandy track station.
Okay.
And I did just that. And then as I was reading through it, and the person who wrote this journal, she has just lists of movies that she's watched. She has goals for the week. She has little letters that she's written to people but obviously never sent. And every once in a while there's something personal that
You felt like you were violating somebody's life, maybe.
I wish that I had. But really, I think that since I have no idea who this girl is, and that I couldn't relate to any of the things that she was really writing. I didn't even like the shows or the movies that she had listed.
You're like, she's got shitty taste in movies.
Yeah, I was like, who is this girl? And she lives in Sandy. And
she's a soccer mom in Sandy.
And then I realized all that, and I kind of started to think about it, and I just had the realization, like, oh, this is a real person with a real life, and I just have been mentally very insensitive to her. And then I started to feel bad, and I kind of want to get other people to have similar realizations so that they can maybe not only write down their own stories in these journals, but read other people's and their problems, and then be like, you don't know who wrote them, but maybe it will make you more sensitive to strangers that you meet on a daily basis and to what might be happening in their lives.
It's excellent. I think so often we just ignore people every day, and we jump on Facebook and we jump on, any of those social media sites. I mean, I'm guilty of it, and we don't realize a lot of times I think people forget that they're real people on the other side of the screen.
Exactly.
And I mean, even down to the handwritten part of it, actually, taking the time to write a journal entry in one of these journals. A lot of people don't even do that anymore. A lot of people don't even write letters or journals themselves.
Yeah. I just think my hope is that it makes people feel more connected, and it makes them more sensitive to the human race.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly though, people don't have to worry about it being, it's not like you're going to massively share it in a public forum.
Yeah, and I'm not asking them, if you don't have to sign your name, you can just write anything, a little snippet, and you don't have to write anyone's name or link yourself to it at all. And yeah, it's just going to be there. I don't even have plans for what to do with them afterwards.
But you do plan. It's just kind of through the summer that you want to do it. I mean, would you continue it further? Would you?
I might,
depending on what the response is. It might, something like that though, might take a month or two to kind of take off though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wanted to start it a while ago, but I got distracted.
Well, just because I know how it is for me, where it's like, gosh, you're sitting around and you're like, oh, I can't wait to go back to, Frisch, or go back to, where Leonardo, or, wherever you end up putting it, because I got something I want to write in there, follow up to somebody else's journal entry. So, I mean, it's just Salt Lake Journal Project on Facebook, and that will keep people kind of up to date on where new journals are.
I started a database sort of thing on there. There are only 2 places on the database right now, but I'm hoping that will grow.
So let's say, if somebody's listening and they have like a little cafe or something that the journal would be a good fit for, I mean, they could definitely get in touch with you.
Message.
Yeah, which I'll have all your links to get in touch with you on the episode show notes, so they can reach out to you as well. Any other projects that you got going on in Salt Lake that those are kind of your main deals that you're involved
as of
in
right now? That's pretty much all that I have happening.
So, I mean, back to being busy. I mean, what motivates you to stay busy? Just as a person, like what?
I think I have a terrible fear of being boring.
You being boring personally.
Yeah, it stems maybe a little bit from that. And
do you think you're a boring person?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you are.
But I think it's because I have a tendency to... I've just started working towards things like this now, and there was a time where I was a lot more timid and I didn't really participate in anything, and then it sort of all exploded into me wanting to participate in everything at once, and that's kind of where it is now. I don't want to be boring, and I don't want to be bored.
Yeah. Do you think most people are boring to you? Like,
oh no,
when you,
not.
but what I mean though is, like, since you're involved with so many projects, do you think somebody who might not be as involved with as many projects as you are, do you think they're boring?
No, honestly, I've never been bored by anybody that I've really
spent time with. Yeah.
Interact with. Everybody has something
to offer.
Yeah. Even if they don't have a million things to offer.
Yeah.
They've got something that's really cool. That's maybe their main focus. That's...
So besides all these other do you have any other, like, secret hobbies and interests, or like passions, or things you would geek out about or nerd out about or love? I mean, music, records, Smurf collection. I don't know.
I do have a strange things collection. I don't really have anything else that I could call it, but a creepy things collection or a strange things collection, where I have a collection of masks. I've got like a latex bunny mask. I have this tribal mask. I have a couple of sugar skull masks. And then in addition to that, I have a Furby. I have a giant stuffed banana. I'm not a hoarder by any means, but I tend to hoard a select.
There's nothing wrong though with being a hoarder. I think TV has given hoarders a bad name. I know,
but I really am not. In fact, I'm so non-sentimental that I sometimes throw away things that maybe I shouldn't. But I get these attractions to these certain bizarre objects, and I just collect them. And they've moved with me everywhere. Where, like, the last time that I moved apartments, I threw away so many important things I should not have thrown away. Like essential things. Like, I threw away all my cutting boards. I threw away most of my dishes. But this giant banana and these masks, they all came with me.
Well, those are what's important.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know?
Absolutely.
I think moving does that. I mean, I've moved a lot in my years of life, and I actually really look forward to moving because it's kind of like a cleansing.
Yeah, it's like a purge.
Yeah, you're just getting rid of it.
Useless crap.
Yeah. And I almost want to get to the point where I can have my life in a backpack, where I can just be ready to go whenever I need to go. Anything, I mean, summer, I mean, shoot, I mean, July 4th, I mean, it's summertime here. I mean, what are some of your favorite things about summertime in Salt Lake City? Do you get out and enjoy, like, Twilight? And
I've actually never been to Twilight.
You've never been to a Twilight concert? Really?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
No favorite bands or what?
I guess. No, I don't know. I like live music a lot. I don't know why I've never gone.
Well, it's a lot of times of crowds.
Yeah, I promised a lot of people that I would go this year. So I'll probably have to buy some tickets.
$5.
I know. I'm so cheap though. God, I'm so cheap.
Well, there's nothing bad with being cheap, frugal wise, just or.
Yeah, I guess I'm pretty frugal.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah.
You're a good date. You're a good date, right?
There you go. Exactly. It doesn't take a lot to impress me. But yeah, I did say that I was going to go this year, so I'll probably go to at least one.
Do you have any, like, favorite bands, like, in general? Like, do you have, like, a favorite band or top 3 favorite bands?
My favorite band to see live that I have seen every single time in the past 6 years, maybe not that many years, because I would have been younger than 21. I've seen them every time except for once, where I missed it because I was at a wedding. It's Gogol Bordello. I love Gogol Bordello so much.
And they were just barely in Salt Lake not too long ago.
Yeah, I was there. Oh, they're a blast. I love them. Other than them, They're the only ones that I really try to see every single year. There are other bands that I get excited about when they come through, but...
You get excited, but then you just don't go. That's how I am.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, there's bands coming. And then, oh, okay, they're coming. $90 to see them. Oh, yeah. You know, I can I can listen to them on iTunes. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's your least favorite thing about living in Salt Lake? Do you have like any things that you just wish would change? There's
nothing that I really...
Come on, there's got to be something you want to bitch and moan about Salt Lake. Something that you would like to see different.
I hate the public transportation a little bit, even though I recognize that it's better than it is in a lot of cities. I don't think that it's really fair that the price keeps going up.
Do you have one of those Beehive passes, though?
No, I get just the regular monthly pass, but my work reimburses me for half of it, so it ends up being about the same.
Because I mean, you live right downtown. Can't you get one of those like Beehive? They're like access to Front Runner and all the. Yeah. It's like it's crazy cheap.
I don't ride Front Runner all that much.
What do you miss most about being a kid? Like going back to your childhood. Like what do you miss most?
I miss being totally invincible. Being able to basically eat grass and eat dirt and jump off of balconies and not be injured at all. I miss the invincibility of childhood.
Yeah. Your bones don't break and
you just spring right back up.
You can stay up all night and not be tired the next day.
Yeah.
Let's say you could have any pet that you wanted. Illegal or not illegal. Any animal in the world. Oh. What would you pick? What would Liz pick?
I would want to have that's really hard. I really like animals. I just have my own personal zoo. I think I would want a tiger. Yeah. Tigers are probably my favorite animals.
What's your all-time favorite movie?
A Clockwork Orange. Definitely. I can't believe that took me so long to say.
Do you watch? Are you? I mean, it seems like you probably don't have much time for TV and movies with how busy you are.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies anymore, but I watch A Clockwork Orange probably at least once a month.
Yeah. What are some of your? I know we talked about like Frisch and them, but I always ask people like some of their favorite local eating spots, cafes, restaurants. Where do you enjoy nibbling and eating at?
Well, I am vegan.
Okay.
So I love Frisch. I love their spicy mac and cheese so much. I could eat it every day. I like the Pie Hole a lot. I like that they have a daily vegan slice, so I can get one slice of pizza and not have to order a whole pizza like I would anywhere else that I wanted to get vegan pizza. I really like Cafe Nostalgia. They also have very good vegan macaroni and cheese. I'm a mac and cheese fan.
You use like the nutritional yeast and
yeah, some sort of nut cheese. I don't know. I don't know how they make them.
What about Bud's? Bud's right down the road here from.
Like Bud's.
I haven't been there yet.
I've only eaten there twice, and I think they're closed right now they're like renovating or something. But they're really good. They are delicious, and you should try them.
Definitely have to give them. How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for about 6 years.
So quite a while.
Yeah. I've been vegetarian since I was probably around 11 or 12.
I mean, do you care if people add you as a friend on Facebook or
that's fine. I might send you a message or something before adding you, but yeah, you can add me on Facebook. I have a group of pages that you can follow.
And I'll put all those links instead of going down the list of all of those. I'll go on to the episode 154 show notes for this episode at iamsaltlake.com, and that way you can connect with Liz, follow her. I mean, the journal project, the zombie walk, check out your art, roller derby. I got to come out to a match. I got to come out and check this out. I mean, I've been hearing about it for years.
I will even come and talk you through the game.
You'll talk me through the game. Yeah. Well, then how are you going to be in the? How are you going to be?
Because I'll take you to a Wasatch game since I don't really skate with them anymore.
Let's go.
I can sit down and I'll tell you what's happening.
All right. Because I organize sports and me. They don't mix. Yeah. do well.
Roller derby's
Baseball,
so good, though.
baseball is one thing. But see, I like baseball because it's summertime. Baseball, I get bored a lot of times at a baseball game, but it's like put a beer in my hand and I'm set. You know what I mean? And just good company.
Totally.
But anything else that we didn't talk about that maybe you want to promote or get the word out or?
Oh my God, I don't know. I think we talked about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's it.
Well, I've enjoyed sitting down with you, Liz, and seriously, I appreciate it. Getting to know you a little bit better, sharing kind of some of the cool things that you're doing here in Salt Lake. It's people like you that make Salt Lake what it is, in my opinion. I know I say it on every podcast, but I mean, the city needs more Liz's. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you.
All right. Many thanks goes out to Liz Fernandez for coming on this episode of the podcast. You're going to find the show notes, all the ways to get in touch with her right at iamsaltlake.com/154. Just type that into your web browser, connect with her on Facebook, get involved, check out the Zombie Walk, check out the Salt Lake Journal Project, check out the roller derby stuff. I'm going to get all those links up there. If I don't get them up right away, they will get up. Again, that's iamsaltlake.com is the website. You can get in touch with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can send me an email, iamsaltlake@gmail.com. Maybe you just moved here to Salt Lake. Maybe you're trying to find a cool place to grab a bite to eat, something going on. Drop me an email. I'd love to connect with you guys. I mean, that was kind of the idea when I started this podcast, was to help bring this Salt Lake City community a little bit tighter together. So many awesome people doing cool things here in Salt Lake City. I also have a voicemail, 385-202-5926. The best thing, you can actually text me at that number as well. So send me a text, call it up, leave a voicemail. Love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't left a review in iTunes, takes you just a second. Click on that iTunes link right at iamsaltlake.com. Give us a 5-star rating, quick review, helps boost our ratings in the iTunes store. And it really means a lot when I hear comments and reviews from the listeners. And if you aren't following me on Twitter, just give me a follow. I am Salt Lake. I'll keep you guys up to date on anything and everything Salt Lake City related. Hey, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. You guys have a great week. And until then, stay cool and enjoy this beautiful city. You guys have a great week.